Warning: sensitive images.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds. Heaven Godspeed.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Da Vinci's fables and prophecies show him to be deeply aware and highly sensitive to the suffering of animal people, referring to of things which are eaten and which first are killed. He wrote,
"Those who nourish them will be killed by them and afflicted by merciless deaths."
Please watch on for Prophecy of the Golden Age, Part 230, Prophecies by the great Italian artist Leonardo da Vinci, vegetarian.
I'm not a vegetarian. I'm a vegan. Vegans don't eat fish, meat, eggs, milk products, any products of animal origin. And I also don't wear clothes made of animal materials. Masami Akira, vegan.
Greetings, delightful viewers! As you marvel at the lovely landscapes of Italy, you may hear "Che bello." This means "how beautiful" in Italian. I am Apollo, the celebrated god of music and dance, truth and prophecy, healing, sun and light. The bright-hearted people of Italy celebrate the kindness that you bestow upon your loved ones. May you be a haven of healing as you provide comfort and upliftment to all beings. Throughout the history of mankind, the divine messages are often shrouded in mystery. Prophets, messiahs, or whichever names you call them, are often persecuted and oppressed, their words obscured. But how do we distinguish the true from the false? To do so, one can only rely on the divine's guidance, and the truth will reveal itself to those who earnestly seek it. Leonardo da Vinci, vegetarian, was an incredibly talented man. As we have learned in previous episodes, he was prolific in all aspects of investigation, invention, and creation. He had an intense and lifelong love of learning, keeping constant notes which covered various themes ranging from plans for his day, recording ideas for new paintings and creations, and periods of deep thoughts. From his prodigious writings, one can witness the extent of Da Vinci's great intellect. He often used wit and jest to entertain, and fable-like storytelling to relay his meaning. Additionally, he's renowned for writing in mirror image, which meant the majority of viewers could not interpret his notes, at least without the help of a mirror. And even then, his words were often written in his less well-known Florentine dialect. Such literary techniques allowed Da Vinci to shroud his writings in wrappings of intellect and poetic genius, requiring those of superior intellect to also contemplate a broader and deeper meaning to his works. In today's episode, we will explore the universal genius's perspective on nature and animal people, specifically in relation to the human interaction and their treatment of these. That Da Vinci loved animal people is well known. Famed Italian Renaissance master artist, architect, historian, and biographer Giorgio Vasari says of Leonardo da Vinci's love for animal people.
He took an especial delight in animals of all sorts, which he treated with wonderful love and patience. For instance, when he was passing the places where they sold birds, he would often take them out of their cages with his hand, and having paid whatever price was asked by the vendor, he would let them fly away into the air, giving them back their lost liberty.
Da Vinci's fables and prophecies show him to be deeply aware and highly sensitive to the suffering of animal people. The following references are found in his notes under prophecies on this topic. Referring to of things which are eaten and which first are killed, he wrote,
"Those who nourish them will be killed by them and afflicted by merciless deaths. Of oxen which are eaten, the masters of estates will eat their own labourers. Of sheep, cows, goats, and the like, endless multitudes of these will have their little children taken from them, ripped open and flayed, and most barbarously quartered. Of eggs which being eaten cannot form chickens, oh how many will there be that never come to birth."
Regarding fish people embryos deplorably stolen as caviar before they could hatch, he said,
"Endless generations will be lost by the death of the pregnant."
and of their ill-fated fish parents being boiled as food.
The natives of the waters will die in boiling water.
The maestro was even aware of the torment inflicted onto the bees in the stealing of their honey.
And many others will be robbed of their store of provisions and their food, and by an insensate folk will be cruelly immersed and drowned. O justice of God, why dost thou not awake to behold thy creatures thus abused?
Sadly, 500 years later, humans have not awoken to the senseless brutality of using animal people for food. Such absence of compassion at the ill treatment of God's creations is far from the teachings of the Christian biblical passages that the church and society of Da Vinci's Renaissance period so avidly proselytized. It was no wonder that the great artist was a vegetarian. His fondness for animal people is well known, from canine folks to feline friends seen through his art. Da Vinci also had great respect and love for equine people, with many drawings of those magnificent specimens living around his various residences. He simply did not draw distinction between the need to treat both domesticated animal friends and all animal beings with respect, compassion, and empathy. Da Vinci also commented on other ways in which various animal people were treated. This includes using parts of their dismembered bodies in everyday life, such as using feathers as ink quills for writing and horns from animal people used as lanterns. He also lamented at the horrific use of animal people for war and sport. Of the tongues of pig people and calves in sausage skins, he stated,
Oh, how foul a thing, that we should see the tongue of one animal in the guts of another.
Of the soles of shoes which are made from the ox people, he stated,
And in many parts of the country, men will be seen walking on the skins of large animals.
Of asses, meaning working equine people, he stated,
The severest labor will be repaid with hunger and thirst, and discomfort, and blows, and goadings, and curses, and great abuse.
Da Vinci's writings regarding the suffering enforced unto animal people are interspersed within his writings entitled Prophecies. One may ask, why did he include these lamentations under this title, especially when these practices were already so prevalent during the Renaissance period? By looking at the division of the prophecies, we gain some insight. Da Vinci suggested that there was a thematic division of the written material, though the reader discovers that different information regarding maltreatment and suffering of animal people was mixed together with other problems of societies, including biblical scale disasters. Is it possible that Da Vinci was foreseeing the interrelatedness of these seemingly different issues, especially in relation to cause and effect?
The division of the prophecies, and reserve the great matters till the end, and the small matters give at the beginning, and first show the evils and then the punishment of philosophical things.
We can see this with his approach to writing of metals.
Of metals, that shall be brought forth out of dark and obscure caves, which will put the whole human race in great anxiety, peril, and death. To many that seek them, after many sorrows, they will give delight, and to those who are not in their company, death with want and misfortune. This will lead to the commission of endless crimes. This will increase and persuade bad men to assassinations, robberies, and treachery, and by reason of it, each will be suspicious of his partner. This will deprive free cities of their happy condition. This will take away the lives of many. This will make men torment each other with many artifices, deceptions, and treasons. O monstrous creature, how much better would it be for men that you should return to hell? For this the vast forests will be devastated of their trees. For this endless animals will lose their lives.
This passage seems to outline the various layers of corruption that humans experience when tempted by money or fortune. Gold and silver have been common forms of money throughout history, while the Romans used bronze as a credit system. To what levels are humans willing to debase themselves for money? We can see this with our current societies, and it fuels the suffering of animal people. Supreme Master Qinghai, vegan, has also spoken about this.
I told you these meat corporations are very powerful.
Yes.
They bought many of the governments in the world, most of them.
Wow. Yes.
Most of the workers for the government, they bought them all.
Wow.
What do they call it? They don't say blackmail, they don't say corruption, they say what? Lobby.
Lobby, yes.
Lobbying, there are many kinds of things. Pressure.
Yes. Yes.
Hinting of bribery, hinting of contribution, etc., etc. They have a lot of money. They can bribe. They can contribute.
Yes, Master.
So if any politician takes those money to run for office, then they hold them.
Oh, yes.
They hold the debt to these contributors.
The massive flood of cash and jobs have made the meat lobby one of the most influential legislative groups in Washington. In 2014, they spent more than $4 million lobbying Congress. The meat industry has also been closely tied to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, which releases dietary guidelines for Americans. Understandably, the relationship between meat manufacturers and the U.S. government has many questioning whether those guidelines are actually in Americans' best interests, especially considering that the USDA even runs programs which are intended to fund advertising for meat and dairy. The Atlantic reports that at least since 1977, efforts by the USDA to suggest decreasing meat consumption have been repeatedly derailed. Due to pressure from the meat industry, instead of telling consumers to eat less, they've been told to eat more lean meats. But the meat industry hasn't just influenced the USDA to keep meat amounts the same. It's also intervened in food safety. In the 1990s, attempts to start testing for salmonella in ground beef were opposed by the meat industry. A congressman with financial ties to the meat industry called for more hearings and delays against new food safety guidelines.
etc.
Continue to make war, because you don't even know how to spell civilization.
Noble viewers, thank you for joining us today. Please tune in again next week as we continue to explore the prophecies of the esteemed Leonardo da Vinci that reveal his timeless wisdom on the interrelation of the evils and then the punishment of this world. Coming up is Her Majesty Queen Cleopatra VII, Philopator, the life of the powerful Egyptian pharaoh, part 2 of 2, right after noteworthy news. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. May the light of the sun imbue you with ever-expanding love.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, hell not reach.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/AP.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/AP.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule ή suprememastertv.com/AP.
Τα προγράμματά μας προσφέρονται σε πολλές γλώσσες. Παρακαλούμε δείτε suprememastertv.com/schedule και suprememastertv.com/AP.